Hey, y'all, we're live. Okay, so today's Lunch and Learn is all about active status versus inactive status in Mary Kay. My goal is that you understand this, and it is a concept, A, that I did not understand for like 10 years. Okay. And so I feel like the sooner you can wrap your brain around it, the better, so that you understand a piece about it to go, okay, great, inactive versus active. So, what is active status? Active status in Mary Kay just means that you get the earned discount privilege of 50% off. So, when an order of 225 wholesale is placed, the month that it is placed, so it's the month of March. So, let's say you have 225 wholesale going in March. It gives you your status of active 1, A1, then your A2 in April, and A3 in May. Anytime within those 3 months, you have your 50% buying privilege off. So that means you can hop on in this month or this month and this month or whatever and grab your stuff for 50% off, plus also make 50% hello when you're selling the product and reordering it and restocking it for customers. That's what active status gives you. Essentially, it's quarterly that you get your 50% off. Now, anytime that you are active, so it's March, let's say you placed your order March 10th or whatever. And so great, you have your discount there. And let's say it goes to April. Okay, so in April, let's say you service um, a customer and you're reordering $50 wholesale, and then you're reordering $100 wholesale, and then you have a customer delivery service order, which is the other perk of active status. Let's just say you have a lot of little orders that add up to 225 wholesale in April, right? Because we placed one in March. Now we're in April and you're working your business in April. Well, anytime that happens, it resets it and it restarts. So then we go April, May, June. Okay. So I am constantly reordering for my customers and to restock my shelves. And so my discount is constantly rolling over. And I just say that in a way of like every month, I'm always ordering over 225. And most active consultants that are servicing their customers are A1, A2, A3 status. But what happens after that? Or what happens? So it's all within one cumulative month. So let's actually see what I just explained. I'm going to add it to stage if it will be faster. Okay. An independent beauty consultant is considered active in the month a minimum 225 wholesale Section 1 order is received and accepted by the company and in the following 2 calendar months without regard to the actual day in the month in which the order is received. So look at that. When you place a 225 order in, where was I at? March. So then March, April, May. Let's say another 225 goes in April, May, June. So when you are already active, so let's say it's April, when your orders total up within 1 calendar month to 225, we'll keep it rolling. It's only when you become inactive that you have to place a 225 all at once. So let's kind of go to there and let's talk about, well, let's look at this one more time. So let's just go to January at the top. So let's say January, you placed your 225. February, you placed a couple orders, but it wasn't really, that much. Couldn't get a lot done in February or something. Let's say it's March and you see the text from me that says, hey, it's your A3 month because you're active 1, active 2, active 3. So there's a text. Let's see. That goes out. I'm trying to find it so I can read it to you. Hey, blank was just checking reports and wanted you to be aware that you're in A3 status this month. If you would like to take advantage of your 50% discount or extend it another 2 months, there you go. So you get a graphic and you get a text from me when you're in A3 status to just give you a heads up, say, hey, so like March right here, if you're in A3 status. And honestly, y'all, there is legit no pressure. I want you to hear me on this. It is just to be aware. When my assistant and myself is helping text the status updates, it is so that you know how to kind of rock and roll that month. And if you are in a working place in your business and you're like, ooh, yeah, I want to keep my discount rolling, that means you're just going to gather extra orders and make sure that maybe you get up to 225 in the month of March to restart it for March, April, May, right? Or if you are like, I'm just kind of hanging out, but I do want to grab a couple things. I don't know if I need to, if you are a little bit more of a personal shopper, let's say, it's mainly just to be aware, to say, hey, you've got your 50% off this month. Grab what you need. If it reaches 225, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. What happens is, let's say that January 1, let January add to stage here. January, February, March. So come April, you'll be what's considered inactive, which just means that you would log on and pay full price if it's not 225. Okay. And we don't want that. I want you to text me in the meantime and go, hey, I need, what can I do? Or, if it's for you and you just need one stinking eyeliner, like we will figure it out. I'm not saying that I am going to like that. I'm just saying, don't just go on there and place a $12 order and pay $14 in shipping. Do not do that. Okay. We will find a way, make a way, or I will set you up with text to grab some more orders or whatever. So if you go inactive, that just means that when you're ready to reactivate your discount and get your 50% buying back, you place your 225 all at once. When you're already active within the month, it can be cumulative and add up to 225. When it goes inactive, then you have to place your whole 225 order at once. So 225 wholesale, remember, is $450 retail value. So you pick out $450 retail, or you gather 9 orders of $50 and you make 225 and then place your 225. It's just 9 orders of $50, y'all. Literally, it's going, hey, gathering an order for Mary Kay. What do you need? Okay, let's say life is going on. Let's say life's happening and you let it go inactive. You can be inactive for up to a year from your last 225. So if we look at this again, I should have another graphic up, but I have plenty in boards. So I'll put some in the comments here too. If your last 225 wholesale order was in January, you technically have until January to reactivate again. Otherwise, it just fizzles out. So from your last 225 order, you can live inactive. I mean, why would you want to when you need to shop for your own stuff? You might as well and gather a couple orders or service 5 or 6 friends and they pay for, like gathering a few orders pays for your stuff. We also want you to make money. Like I'm here for you to make money. So when I talk about active versus inactive status, I don't love it because it's talking minimums. And I don't want your brain at minimums. I want you to be like, I am going to be a soar achiever. I am going to earn the cute little thing that Mary Kay has at 600 wholesale. I want to make $600 this month, not 225. But regardless, I want you to know that you are loved and appreciated wherever you're at. Okay. So, you can stay active every quarter. This is how I describe it to women to keep it simple, is you can place an order quarterly or yearly. Yearly, it just keeps you in the company. If no order is placed after 1 year, if no 225 order is placed, then it just fizzles out. Your agreement just fizzles out and they would re-sign at the 35E start to come back in and just either be a new consultant again and make some money or however they want to access as a consultant. So when you place your 225, that gives you it for the month you place it and the 2 months after. When you're an A3, if your orders total up to 225, it just keeps it rolling. If you happen to go inactive, then you would just have to place your 225 all at once to just reactivate it and earn your discount back. And I do want to just say it is an earned discount privilege at that level. You don't just get to sign up at Mary Kay and think, oh, I get half off anytime I want. It's an earned discount level. If everybody could be a Mary Kay, they would, right? So we need customers and we want to take care of customers, right? That's the point. So, not every, like, we don't need to, anyway. Also, with new consultants, it's my job to explain things. It's my job to go over their free perks. You keep it as simple as possible. We don't need to be delving into all these details, talking minimums necessarily, because it will come along every step that they take. They will learn everything that they need to know. And if they have those questions before they get started, I will be glad to answer them. And you can answer them now that you're equipped. The simple way is you can stay active quarterly, or you can place your order once a year, like bare bones minimum. That's kind of my lingo. Before you get into depth on all, it's too confusing. People don't have the mental capacity to know all the things. So that's why I'm doing this separate lunch and learn, because, you asked. People have been asking, what is active status? What's the difference? What's inactive? What's active? So, I was trying to think. Any questions you have, put it in the comments. I do want to give you all the status, okay? From A1 to A2 to A3. Those are the 3 months you're active. A1 is the month that your 225 is placed. A2, A3. If no orders placed, you go to I1. That's inactive. I1, I2, I3. It's been 6 months since your last order. Then you go into T status, which T status is important to note because after I3, if you have team members, the company just thinks, oh, you don't want to really work your business or keep your team. So being active and having your team is a privilege. So when you go into T status, you actually lose your team, okay? But it's because you're not active. You're not working. You've been 6 months inactive, right? So that's important to note, that as you build your team and grow your team, the speed of the leader is the speed of the gangs. So stay active. Usually if you're building a team, you are active. So it's not a big deal. And for those that aren't, it doesn't matter to them, whatever. So 6 months. So A1, A2, A3, I1, I2, I3. It's been 6 months. Then we go to T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, T7. So it goes to terminated status for 6 months. And if no orders placed in there, it just fizzles out. That is the rundown of active versus inactive. At the end of the day, active status is your access to the 50% buying privilege and income, making income. Inactive status just means you have to place your 225. T status just means that too. And I hope that helps. Let me give you this visual one more time, so that way you can see it and really understand. And I think it's just tracking that A3 and just being aware, and just also knowing I send the status for your help to just let you be aware, because I used to not. And then people would become inactive and they'd be like, I didn't know I was there. And we are all independent businesswomen. It's really not my job to do the status updates. I just like to do it to help everybody know where they're at, because if you want to keep your discount, you want to keep your discount. And if you're not tracking it, you gotta learn to track it. You gotta be an independent businesswoman and track your active status, y'all. So, and that's just me, baby. Like, you got to know your numbers, and so I've had it where people were like, dang it, or I missed it, or they placed their orders and they weren't tracking it and they missed active status for like $15. And sometimes things happen, and, some we're paying attention, we're not paying attention. Things happen in the midst of that. At the end, it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the day. We just gather a few more orders. We're in this to make money and make our half off and have that and be able to build a sustainable legacy building business. Okay, tell me in the comments what you learned about active versus inactive status. I would love to know. Legit, you may have to watch this 2 or 3 times. I tell you what, I did not understand it until how long have I been doing this? I've been doing this almost 16 years. I mean, for real, it was 7 years in. I was like, how does this work again? It really does take a minute. You're wrapping your brain around it. So I hope the visual helps. I will put more in the comments. At the end of the day, I don't want you to focus on those. I want you to focus on who you're serving. Don't focus on the lack. Don't focus on the minimums. Don't focus on just who are you serving? Who can you serve? The sooner you take action, the better. And you're not thinking about all the little things. You're actually just doing what you're called to do in this business, which is to find a beauty fit for your customers' beauty needs. Okay? And God will bless the rest. So, hope that helps. See you later. Alrighty.